Hello, this is Karen Chenard, creator of Wise Owl Chalk Synthesis Paint. I've had quite a few requests recently to do a tutorial on waxing, so here I go, my first tutorial. We're going to be using the Black Hemp Oil Wax because this is my favorite wax of all. I love it. It has a buttery smooth application, really easy to put on, adds a ton of dimension and texture to pieces, and I really love it over vintage duck egg. So I have painted just a sample cabinet door with one coat of vintage duck egg, and I'm going to show you the way that I like to wax. First of all, you pick any sandpaper that you like. I like to use 220 or above. I really like these micro sanding sheets. They kind of have a foam back to them, so they're really pliable. You can cut them into smaller pieces. They have a good lifespan on them. I get these ones from Amazon. I can post the link below. But anything over 220 is usually great for sanding to prep for wax. At that point, you want to do your distressing as well if you care to distress. So, as I'm distressing, I try to focus on the areas of detail. The base of this cabinet was white, so as I sand, it's going to reveal a little bit of the white. Oh, my brush there. And it doesn't need a lot of sanding, just a light sand, just to kind of give a little bit of distressing to this piece. And also by sanding, even if you choose not to distress, you're giving yourself a really smooth surface to work on, which will help any sealing product have a nice smooth place to go. Okay, that's just about good enough for my tutorial here. All right, I like to use the round natural bristle brush. This is a 50 millimeter. Because this is my wax brush, you see it's marked wax. That way I don't use it for paint and cross-contaminate oil-based products with the paint, since obviously it's water-based. So this is my wax brush. It makes for the easiest application. And with waxing, less is more. Here's my black wax. You just want to have just about enough that you can just see it on the tips, and that is all you need. So I'm going to start working in small sections. The natural bristle brush really helps it to get into all of the pore space of the paint, which will help give you a strong finish. Some people like to use clear wax first, but I find if you sand well and you have a nice smooth surface, it's not going to absorb all of the color. I know it seems like it's pretty dramatic right now, but you'll see once I buff off, you really don't need to do the clear wax first. And of course, if you have detail, it's going to be collecting in those detailed areas. Okay, so I'm just going to do this area. When you're buffing, use a lint-free cloth. I like to use maybe a business sock or an old t-shirt. I'm using just a paint rag here. I think at one point it was yoga pants that got painted on enough times, which has now become my wax rag here. Okay, so I'm just going to buff off. See how it's added some dimension, and you can see where I've distressed, it's kind of highlighted that. And just richen the color a little bit, giving a little bit of an antique color without really being too over the top. If you wanted a little bit of a less dramatic look, you can apply the clear wax first, but I really love the look of the black wax over top of the vintage duck egg. And that is all. You'll see more wax tutorials of all different finishes and styles. I'll be making a hemp oil tutorial, and so stay tuned. Thank you.